In the morning, all this light comes through the patio doors and makes that webcam basically useless. Um, make it better, but you can't really make it work. Um, had a disturbing thought today about the last month and a half, about what might have happened instead of what I thought happened. Simmer settings. What am I looking for? Investments. Exposure. No, that's a bit better now. Game. Or something like that, I guess. No, the last thing I remember before everything just went nuts was that somebody named Lucy, who was following my blog, wanted to talk to me on the phone. And I talked to her, and she was talking about lying in bed thinking about masturbating at 8 years, 7 or 8 years old. Nobody thinks about masturbating at 7 or 8 years old, closing the blinds. Yeah, so of course I started in the few, like three, and she says, "Oh, go ahead and say it. It's not like it was bad." So I started calling her mommy. And so I get off the phone like an hour later and start making jokes about it. I hear somebody outside, and she it's so good she got me to do that. And I hear this staticky kind of thing. It just goes right through me. And then it subsides and everything goes back to normal. And then I walk down the stairs the next day. You get 3 steps on the floor and hear a whisper at the door. And then the next 4 days, I just nothing. I remember nothing of them. After that, what I perceive as people dicking with me. Um, so I remember those 3 steps on the floor. I remember somebody talking about a gay black kid that had been jerking off on the stoop. And what did the other kids do to him? I remember this is when I actually stopped for lunch. I was doing something organized. I stopped for lunch. And I was in the kitchen. I said, well, at the risk of self satire, I think they'd still sell him crack. I remember that. And that's the last thing I remember for like 4 days. And it just seems crazy to me that that one phone call from some new person could have triggered that kind of reaction from my brain. But it seems possible as well. So, in other words, there wasn't the rape frame, there wasn't the Miriam suits, there wasn't any of this stuff. It was literally just a phone call from somebody I hadn't met before who liked me and wanted to talk to me. And she's either crazy or retarded or both. I honestly can't figure out which. And seriously, she talks about doing these special dances. Her voice just give her orders, and you know, um, but she seems to understand English, right? So, and she can text, so she can't be retarded. It's crazy. I didn't talk to her anymore. That's the situation I stay away from because I can't. I love to come eat. That's like fucking happen. So it could be right. It's so nuts. But then nothing could have made that sound at that point. There were one, maybe two people on the sidewalk that was making these jokes too, and the static starts. I don't know what you call it, static, which washes everything away, which doesn't happen with sound. So it's not like they could have been fucking with me. And I say, well, it's just a, then it was going on the next day after. Yeah, the same thing was happening the next day. I don't remember anything from it. I just remember this the same thing was happening constantly, just nonstop for hour after hour after hour after hour after hour. And then my thinking was so disjointed and so confused that this only made it worse, enormously worse, right? This is what kept it going for as long as it went. Is that my thinking was so enormously disjointed and confused that I would speak to not have to listen to the gibberish in my head. And people, I don't know how they thought this. Are you trying to start a conversation with me? Fuck no, you're not talking to this. But it kept happening again and again and again. And again. So that's why I took that all. Because I lose my temper with them. I get so high that I can talk to myself and hallucinate mostly, like 98% of the time, and not get angry when someone real came along and I thought it was still real after they left. So I get along with hallucinations, I truly do. And most of the time, it's real people I have trouble with getting along with. The hallucinations can be far crueler when they can get mean, but just in a tatty sort of way, I get along with hallucinations much better. Um, so, how to make this. And I got arrested in the process phase. That's something that came with it. In the midst of all this, the peak charges to nothing to get arrested. Um, my God, life was never going to get better till she was gone. If I went search for meaning in the last 2 months, it finally got me clear that I need to stand the Adderall and not abuse it because the atrophying, proliferating nerve receptors. That it put me on Gemini, which is pretty damn good. It told me one night, it's if you stay up until 8 tonight, and you go to bed between 8 and 9, you'll wake up between 5 and 7 tomorrow morning. And bam, I was up like 6 hours. Got an alarm clock. Maybe I was just saying like that before. As long as you're taking all your Adderall by 8 a.m. That's right. It got me back on night schedule, which is more restful, which seems to be helping enormously, helping my brain heal enormously. Um, but it's not there yet by a long shot. I'm still talking to myself. It's a big problem, but can't really focus enough to do anything, so I don't talk to myself. Am I really supposed to on the sofa all day and stare at the ceiling? Is that my life for now? Um, yeah. Another week, I think it'll be basically a non-issue. Non-issue. It won't matter another week. Um, Jim, like I said, started to say, I think 4 days ago, told me to be 21 days before I can expect to feel normal again, back to normal again. Uh, it's just, I'm in awe of that. they would function perfectly during this phone call. They would not hallucinate. They would make perfect sense during this phone call. And then I would have a real world anecdote to tell from present day as opposed to something 20 years ago or something like that. Or that involved me as opposed to somebody else more recently, right? And talking to people on the sidewalk would short me out that fucking bad. She's utterly mystifying. Him, Val, one of my dad's former colleagues, he's retired, my dad's dad, he came by just now, and he seemed perturbed. If he if he was, he hit it at the state of things. So this is really messy in here right now. How about the toilet that was out? He had my brother's number, Kathy's number, the lawyer's number, and he helped me clean up a little bit. Brought me some unflavored oatmeal because he eats it 3 times a week. He's anorexic, thin, and 80 years old. I guess that's the price of being thin without fucking exercising and getting unflavored oatmeal. Um, but yeah. It's homemade. I'm saying at least take garnish. It's homemade. He help me sweep. He said help me get my car inspected. I didn't have to get an Uber. Um, um, and I think he must say, I mean, one of the grounds for removal from my hand from the trust would be a family friend or a relative expressing concern about the welfare of the trustee. And his, I can see has got this, uh, and yeah, they feel like kicked head for not telling my dad to have somebody check up on me once a month. They probably did. My dad just thought I would go with not thinking what Dad was thinking, which was the trust would be mismanaged. Um, but it turns out we hit it off okay. He's even longer than I am. I'm so used to it, right? Um, but we might actually, actually hang out together. Who knows, right? It could actually happen. I obviously hated me. Obviously hated me because, he'd ask me like the obligatory 2 questions, and he brought lunch over, and my dad was sick at the end, and but he didn't talk to me. And if I asked, he always gave the most cursory responses, right? So, Tracy. It, what's crazy about it is that my conscious mind took it so much in stride that it was something to laugh about. That she got me to jerk off and call her mommy on the first call, and the the organic matter, however, just couldn't fucking handle it for half a second. Um, Go figure. Mm, yeah, that's very cool. Um, yeah. And he feels guilty now. He said something about buying me food. I feel so horribly awkward about accepting because it would, I guess in retrospect I will because it'll give me enough money to pay for the car repair on the door. If he buys me a week's worth of groceries. Um, it doesn't matter to him. From the few things my dad said, Val is quite wealthy. He didn't say quite wealthy. He just said once to mention that Val would never have to worry about money. Um, so yeah, he's not all college professors are like that. I doubt it. He's a little like that in obliviousness, but he errs towards friendly as opposed to withdrawn. But they both seem a little like opening your eyes here a little bit, right? But I don't know how much we're seeing with him. And how much of it's just I'm being who I am, fuck everybody else at 80, right? Um, uh, I'm not giving him enough credit because I was already probably smarter than my fucking father. My father was smart, but wasn't that smart. And so we're heading down the parking lot, taking the trash out. He's waving everybody, hi, good morning. We're just kind of looking at him. And that's what I'm referring to is about that. And he could be thinking, well, I'm with the crazy guy. I'm from the crazy guy's friendly, right? It could be that, but who knows? His brain probably isn't agile enough these days for that sort of thinking. Who knows? Um, okay, well, anyway. So, I have a choice. I can be responsible, or I can. I have 3.5 remaining extra Adderall out of 6 to make it. I need to make them last 9 more days. So I just have all the pills for 9 more days, and I have 3.5 more pills. It's 2 pills a day. So I guess I'm pretty good then. I was gonna take extra pill today to stay up to get the groceries. Um, if I put off ordering them so they come tomorrow morning, I'll go to bed. This eraser job might not have been possible without Valsis and realizing because I never could point to anything. I don't remember anybody standing in the door doing anything. I don't remember any noise coming through the wall. I don't remember any of that. But I don't remember anything at all. I just remember that one question, do you watch what the other kids will do? And And there's day two, and it's like they call out at 10 p.m. the previous night. And of course, Elaine freaked out when I got the car. But what I never really noticed on the wall. The noise, like I said, it was a noise and sensation at once. So it could have been real. If, if I'm basically positive it's the same thing as the next day. It lasted about 2 days. Just always there. So the truth of it, probably in a negative way, but in an adaptive way too. Meaning the negative, uh, it just could have been a tidal wave of brain plasticity is what it could have been over a period of 2 days. And this is the fallout of the Adderall, not of the brain plasticity. That makes sense. So this could be a positive thing. Yeah, we'll see. I'll stay away from Leia for a bit. Give her some peace of mind. Um, it's remarkable. I have no faith that she'll watch this eventually. So I'll tell her an email. But then I think without seeing my astonishment as I expressed it, it'd be hard to swallow. So, um, we'll see. So that's about it. I'm gonna eat my oatmeal. Feel obligated to probably pour half of it down the drain and unflavored oatmeal. The fact I don't want to eat unflavored oatmeal, that's what makes it sad. The fact I don't want to eat. This is, to me, that's self punishment. It's like, but I guess that's the idea, right? Yeah, it's eating to avoid eating. Um, okay.